Over the past few weeks, there's been a lot of controversy surrounding KSI, and it's for a few main reasons. For one, he made a cheaply made product to combat Lunchables. This one I don't really care about all that much. And two, dragging out a controversy for so long that it just became super obnoxious. And to be honest, I'm not too surprised that this happened. KSI has been screwing up in big ways for about a year and a half now, and it was only a matter of time before he got into some controversy. I didn't think that it would be something like this though, which made everything interesting to me. So for this video, I'm going to go over the Lunchly controversy, KSI's response to this, and how this could have been completely avoided if he could have just kept his mouth shut. And with that, let's get into the video. On September 16th, KSI, Logan Paul, and Mr. Beast announced a product that they were making together called Lunchly. Essentially, Lunchly is just a rip-off Lunchables that is meant to compete with them, and the marketing of this was very funny to me, especially when they got to the health aspect. Logan boasted how Lunchly was healthier than Lunchables on Twitter, which is technically true, but it's not really significant enough to where it makes a major difference, so I don't get why this was even said. And he even mentioned electrolytes? Who is going to give a shit about electrolytes if we're trying to get something like Lunchables? These products aren't exactly things you're looking to get if you're looking for a healthy option. So why advertise that you're slightly healthier than your competition anyways? It doesn't really make all that much sense to me. But I'm getting off track here. Let's get back on topic. Once Lunchly was announced, there was a huge amount of backlash, partly because Mr. Beast was involved and he's dealing with some major scandals at the moment. It also had Logan Paul's involvement, who's infamously known for what happened with CryptoZoo. But one of the main reasons why I got backlash was just that people genuinely hated the product. Simple as that. One tweet that really summed up people's opinions is this one from DanTDM. And while I do think the tweet is kind of strange, considering that he complains about YouTubers making products just for money, even though people have been doing that for a decade now, the responses from KSI were absolutely pathetic and makes any criticism I can have for DanTDM look like nitpicking in comparison. His first response to DanTDM's tweet was him saying, "Looks like crap to me," with a bunch of products that he's made in the past. And not only is this an incredibly petty response, but the worst part about it is that he shows off DanTDM's YouTubes with this tweet, but KSI has actually worked with YouTubes before, so this is just massively hypocritical of him to point out. And his rambling didn't stop here. He made a follow-up tweet talking about how DanTDM made a video with this company called Munchpack, which was a service that gave you monthly boxes full of food and candy. But here's the problem with what he's saying. Dan created this video 9 years ago, literally 1 year off from being a decade. He wasn't the one making the product, and we have no idea if he'd necessarily endorse it nowadays. It's clear at this point that KSI is just trying everything he can do to discredit the criticism against him, and it's backfiring pretty hard. Literally all he had to do was just ignore the tweet and go about his day. The whole thing probably wouldn't have been remembered after like a month or so. And let's be real here, Lunchly is probably going to be a big success anyways, so I don't get why he cares so much about what people on Twitter say. But again, he didn't stop here. He started to use this whole situation to try and promote his comeback to music, which was kind of strange. I don't think anyone who's hating on him is going to listen to his songs all that much, to be honest, but who knows, I could be wrong. Though probably not, considering that a clip of the song he's promoting surfaced, and people were just laughing at him nonstop. I kind of agree with him on this. I don't like the song. And after this, he would proceed to respond to the hate with a Reddit video. The entire thing feels very much like him trying to look like he doesn't care while the situation actually bothers him, and it just brought him even more backlash, which was to be expected. And you'd think that after tweeting about it non-stop, and even going as far as making a video on the whole thing, he would just leave it alone. But it's KSI, so of course he didn't. He would make a tweet the same day that the video came out, quote tweeting a drama alert tweet where it was talking about Marquez Brownlee's wallpaper app controversy, and he just shoehorns in the DanTDM shit into this whole thing as well. He said at the end of the tweet that if someone doesn't like a product, they just shouldn't buy it. And while that is true, I don't really like this mindset, as I just see it as his way of trying to dodge criticism. And since this is coming from KSI, who tries to act like he doesn't care what people say about him, that's pretty funny to me. But 2 days after this, KSI tweeted the following: "A lot has happened over the past few days, so here I am addressing everything below." And on the tweet is a link to a website. If you were to click on this now, it would just redirect you to the song In the Thick of It with Trippie Redd. But the site was initially just a troll that he used to promote it, and he also had a countdown timer to when his apology video would be up. And once it finally went to 0, this is what we were left with.
Hey guys, a lot's happened these past few days, and I've had a lot of time to reflect and really understand everything that's happened and all of my actions. And you know, first of all, I want to sorry, I want to apologize. want to say something. I can't do it. Hey yo, drink prime and eat luxury, motherfucker. Stay mad, TDM fans. Womp womp.
Wow, such a funny joke. I am laughing so hard right now. I would probably respect this more if he did this initially instead of making a million responses and then pulling this. It kind of just looks pathetic now, as it's obviously just a grasp at attention. I'll give him this, it's working, but it's mostly just people making fun of him for dragging out a situation that would have ended weeks ago had he stopped talking. After this, he would quote tweet someone talking about a KSI Nat McDonald's deal, shoehorning Dan TDM into things once again, and his song would finally come out a day later. And you guys should see the comment section on this thing. I can't include every comment here, but I'm just gonna read some of them out so that you can get the picture of what people are saying. So let's get into it. My parents heard me listening to this. They're now planning to take me to a psychiatric hospital. Thank you, KSI. Honestly, if it had a different beat, different melody, different lyrics, different sound effects, different artists, different theme, different message, and a different genre, it could have gone hard. Playing this at my funeral so everyone gets jealous of me being the one inside the coffin. So yeah, seems like they didn't like it all that much. And the little marketing scheme he was trying to do for the song didn't seem to work either, since the song only got 1 million views after a day. Those are just his normal numbers. This wasn't really all that worth it. Now at this point, you're probably thinking, he's dragged this on for long enough. He has to have stopped at this point, right? Well, no, not at all. His final tweet at the time of me writing this video was him asking Dan TDM to come on an episode of his podcast to hash things out. And I'm just so confused at this point. Dan made one tweet on September 16th and hasn't responded since, while KSI wrote this tweet on October 4th and has been tweeting about this constantly in between this time. That means that he's been constantly talking about this for more than 2 weeks without a single response from Dan. That's insane to me. I'm gonna sound like a broken record here, but all KSI had to do was ignore what people were saying about him. Even if you want to think that he was just doing this intentionally so that more people would talk about him, that seems to just benefit commentary channels more than it does himself. His numbers haven't really gone up all that much. All that happened is that he has a significant amount of backlash, so again, this wasn't worth it. But that's all I have to say for this section. Lunchables are better than Lunchly. Moving on. Hey, so since I recorded my last few sections about this, KSI has made 2 new tweets addressing this situation, and they both just have massive amounts of cope in them, to be honest. I was unsure beforehand whether he was doing it fully for promotion, or if he was actually mad about stuff, or if it was in between, but this just essentially confirms that yes, he was actually mad about everything. But yeah, now I'm actually done with the section. Moving on. How KSI acted in this entire situation is so confusing to me. The Lunchly thing could have been such a minor controversy in retrospect if he either just responded in a constructive way or completely ignored it. But because of his big ego and seemingly seeking attention, he decided to drag this out for weeks on end. Literally the only good side of this whole thing is that commentary channels like myself are able to get views off of this. So actually, you know what? Thank you, KSI. Keep doing stuff like this. Anyways, that's the end of the video. All of my links are in the description below, and this was just something I wanted to put out quickly before my next video, which should be out within the next 2 weeks, though there's no guarantee on that. If you want to see more short videos like this, just covering some random drama, please let me know in the comments, and with that, I'm done with this video. Oh yeah, one last thing. #FLM.